Memories press between the pages of my mind. Memories sweeten through the ages just like wine. Quiet thoughts come floating down and settle softly to the ground like gold of autumn leaves around my feet. I touch them and they burst apart with sweet memories. Sweet memories of holding hands and red bouquets and twilights trimmed in purple haze and laughing eyes and simple ways and quiet nights and gentle days with you. Memories press between the pages of my mind. Memories sweeten through the ages just like wine. Memories of holding hands and red bouquets and twilights trimmed in purple haze and laughing eyes and simple ways and quiet nights and gentle days with you.
Welcome back to Talking Elvis. What is inside the box? We'll get to that. It was a little surprise that arrived via FedEx. My mother sent this box over and I thought I would share it with you because you're all my friends. I didn't manage to get a video up yesterday. I was looking at my analytics and stuff on YouTube. I've made 45 videos posting every Friday. Elvis Presley is my passion and I've been doing it for a bit of fun. But when it becomes like stressful trying to reach a deadline, then it doesn't become fun. So I didn't stress about getting one out yesterday. I got one out today, this one. Not so many people watch my videos, which is fine because it's really for me. And it was never supposed to be something I was going to make money on. It wasn't anything I intended to monetize because I knew I was using so much music that I was never going to be able to be monetized. Also, I wanted to learn how to edit. That was a personal thing I wanted to do. I wanted to try to learn CapCut and how to edit videos. And I must say to any YouTube creators out there who create vlogs and stuff, it's extremely difficult. It is not easy at all. I can put out a video which will last 10, 15 minutes and it can take me 16 hours to edit it. I don't know how some people make 2 or 3 videos a week, especially vloggers. On that subject, what I did about 2 months ago, I think, I started another YouTube channel about my life here in Cambodia. And gradually, editing is getting a little bit better, but it's still not great because I'm learning it myself. I haven't studied film editing or anything. I'm just doing it on my own. But it very quickly became monetized. And amazingly, these videos are making a little bit of money every day. I'll leave a link in the description here if you're at all interested on what my life is like here in Cambodia. But this is the Elvis channel and it will always be about Elvis and my life as an Elvis fan. I mentioned in one of the previous videos that I've never considered myself to be a collector. I've just been a fan. But looking around at all the stuff I've got, I've absolutely ended up being an Elvis collector. I've never collected things like plates or Elvis busts or things like that. But I have a couple of little items that I really am quite fond of, and I'm going to share them with you. It all started, of course, collecting vinyl records. Records were the first thing that I got into, and it would evolve over the years. I would go through periods of times where I wanted to just have foreign albums that were not pressed in the UK or the US. So I got things like, French, Italian, things like that, and a couple of Japanese. Japanese albums are always really, really nicely done. Then I got into wanting to get 7-inch singles. So I did that, and then I wanted to get EPs. And over time, more recently, has been books. So I've got a lot of books on Elvis. It has evolved as time has gone on, and I've collected all the FTD releases. I then wanted to collect pictures of people associated with Elvis. I think there is that connection when we go to Memphis. We want to meet people that were close to Elvis because we can't meet Elvis. I don't want to say it's the next best thing, but in some ways it is, especially if it's somebody who Elvis was particularly close with. As I said, I received this box, totally unexpected. Let's go through it. Not all of it, but some of it. There was a whole pile of these inside. And when I look up at the light, they're all photographs of Elvis. Now, what this would have been, I would have had a projector at some point in the 1980s when I was running the fan club in Edinburgh, the Memphis Mafia. I'm sure that when we had our events, we had a dance every single month. When we had our events, we would project pictures of Elvis on the wall. And I remember it being on a spool. And I think there was a timer on it, so different pictures of Elvis would appear on the wall. There were some old family photographs in the book. There were some newspaper articles about me. This is when I was 17, so very long time ago. The Memphis Mafia magazine, the monthly magazine that I used to produce when running the fan club. And I thought this was nice. This was a poster from our fan club convention in 1989. And if you remember the video I made with the Jordanaires, it's right here, mentioning that they're going to appear at the Usher Hall. So it was in 1989. So that was interesting. There were some things in the box that I had completely forgotten about. I remember, and that's the way it is. Remember cricket? Cricket, that's Sue, Sue, that's cricket. Probably the best picture of the two of them together. And she's wrote quite a lot on there for me. I want to share a couple of things that I quite like. Some of these things are not worth anything at all. It's just things I like for one reason or another. This photograph of Elvis and Linda is very faded now. But this was a piece of the bathroom mirror I bought from Jimmy Velvet, and a picture of me at the house. Now, I remember going in there. Jimmy Velvet was one of the biggest Elvis collectors of all time. And he bought the house on Old Hickory Street, and he broke up the mirror and sold it piece by piece, so I bought a bit. It's a letter from him. I think there are a lot of these going around. The Texaco receipt from Elvis's credit card. The frame on this is broken, but it's an invoice from the Sam Phillips Recording Studios of Memphis Incorporated. And it's from December 1962, and it's signed by Scotty Moore. I really liked these when I got them. I thought they were very unusual. Totally filthy now. Probably had them about 30 years. So this is the Lisa Marie. And I think so nicely done. So I got the Lisa Marie, so I had to get the Jetstar as well. But it doesn't seem like in proportion to me. They should really be flying somewhere. But I like these. I've put all these pictures on the wall, like tickets for events that I went to and people that I have met. This is kind of like friends and co-stars. These are members of the TCB band and backing singers, things like that. One of my favourite Keith Alverson photographs from May 1975. You see I have a menu up there, Las Vegas Hilton souvenir menu. I like this one, Elvis Special Poke Salad with corn muffins and honey for only $1.95. Backstage pass from Ed Bonja. I'm not entirely sure what year this was. I think it's 1974. But this is a Elvis Summer Festival styrofoam hat. And I just thought it was a nice thing to have. This one in particular because Elvis signed it, allegedly. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it has become so faded. I'll tell you one thing, the humidity in Cambodia, even though I have the curtain closed in this room, really causes, I've had, some 75 RPMs have completely warped for no reason. I'm not sure if you can see this on the camera. It's actually faded a lot. I do have a picture of it somewhere. I'll post it. Now, did Elvis sign it? It's a very difficult call on this one because it's a styrofoam hat. So if he was going to sign it, he would have to do it quite carefully. Some parts look great, some parts look a bit off. I sent it to John Heath. Don't know if you're familiar with John. John's from Arkansas. And he thought it was legit. But I bought it from Hal Noland, who did the Sean Schaefer book with him back in 1979. And I did hear a few non-complimentary things about Hal Noland. Did Elvis sign it? The only way to know for sure is if you were there and he signed it in front of you. I always say the same thing Jimmy Velvet used to say was, I can't tell you for sure if Elvis signed it, but I can tell you if he didn't. So that's kind of where I am on this. But what I paid for this was worth it just for the hat. It wasn't a lot of money. But I really do like the R and the E and the SLEY on Presley. Apologies about the glare, but this, of course, is a concert scarf. Again, the photographs have become really washed out. These are two original photographs taken in Charlotte, North Carolina in February 1977. And this, I have no doubt, is a real concert scarf. And there is sweat stains visible on the scarf. But it came with two original photographs which have faded out. That's just a picture that I put in the frame from the show. But these are two snapshots. So I have absolutely no doubt about that. This is another fun item from May 2014. So this is from Marty Lacker. I won't read the whole thing out, but basically a couple of times in the 20 years I was close to Elvis upstairs at Graceland, he would be throwing out items of clothing. He happened to be with Richard Davis that day and decided to get rid of items in his closet. Now this, of course, is something that Elvis would do. This is a grey tie designed and made by Adams Rose. I have sold this grey tie and it is now owned by Julian Grant of Cambodia. Again, this is a bit faded, but this is a drumstick signed by DJ Fontana. How do I know he signed it? It's because he gave it to me. He signed it in front of me. So I like little quirky things. This is a light bulb from Elvis's house at Rocker Place, which my friend Ian gave me. And I deliberately kept all the original dust on it. This is a piece of flooring from the Tennessee Karate Institute, signed by Wayne Carman and Al Holcomb. You'll see on one of my previous videos about that. And then I have the piece of floor, original floor from the living room just near the kitchen of Lauderdale Course apartment. As far as I'm aware, only myself and Mike Freeman have a piece of the floor because we broke in. That's in another video also. A couple of things I mentioned already. I'm not sure where this came from. This must be a reproduction. I think it might have come from an Audifont bootleg or something. But yeah, and you know, you don't see these things for 30, 40 years, and then you suddenly see them and say, hey, I remember that. This was nice. To Julian, thanks a bunch, Anita Wood. This was signed by Terry Mike Jeffrey. Just a great photograph of him and Elvis. And this is signed by DJ and the Stamps. There was other things like old Memphis magazines. I picked up a brochure from the Hotel Grinwald in Bad Nauheim. And there was stacks of photographs. Some old family pictures and plenty pictures of inside and outside Graceland, which are all fuzzy and out of focus. But then pictures which I thought I had totally lost. When I did the Jordanaires one, I said, I don't have the picture of me and the Jordanaires. There's only one photograph. And it was just it was lucky that at the time I scanned all the photographs. And the scanner wasn't particularly good. I think it was probably when scanners first came out and it wasn't really a high resolution. After scanning them, I printed them, and then the prints have faded over time. So you can see how bad quality that picture is of me with the Jordanaires. I'm not going to go through them all because it's just boring for you. But I was chuffed to see that some of these still exist. There's some that I've lost, although there's a picture of me and Billy Smith on the wall here. I met him years previously, and that picture of us has been lost. Let me put my glasses on. These are ones which I was pleased to get. This is Millie Kirkham, and she signed this. So obviously I had the picture taken with her, met her another time, and then gave her this picture to sign. I'll show you some, this guy here. This is Ira Jones. Who is this guy here with Elvis? Elvis would drive the Jeep for Sergeant Ira Jones. This is Bill Bass, Al Devon, Harold Lloyd, It goes on and on. Now this was quite a special moment. I think the 1980s, the late 80s, Graceland sent over a bunch of Elvis's clothing to the UK fan club who had an exhibition going on in Blackpool. They did a very small tour of Elvis's clothing and they came to the Usher Hall in Edinburgh. And because we were part of the official Elvis Presley fan club, the Edinburgh branch, we were contacted and we set up a stall, I remember, and we had all our Memphis Mafia magazines, tried to get people to join the club. But we were also sort of security in a very loose way. And we helped set up Elvis's clothing and help pack it away. And I knew this coat. And I remember that Elvis had his thumb inside the pocket. So I wanted to do the same thing, and the pocket had a little rip in it. It also came with a matching hat. I didn't put the hat on, but the hat was there also. And when you opened the jacket inside, it said made for Elvis Presley. And it was Lansky's, it was the Lansky brothers. I've scanned these pictures again to try to get a better quality, but this was really nice to see the original of me at the house in Hillcrest in 1978. Dick Grobe, J.D. Sumner, and the original photograph of me and Charlie Hodge, which I thought was long gone. Talking about the jacket, then there was this. Talk about up close and personal. It was the first time that I'd been that close to the suit. Certainly, you can't get any closer. And when I realized that the tags are brown suede and not black. Ed Enoch, George Klein. And this was nice because I did an episode and I only had the scan, but this is Anita Wood. So original picture. This isn't somebody who was often at Elvis Speak, but this is Shell Nielsen. This is an unusual one. Look at the condition of the photograph. I'm trying to fix it up a little bit by bit. This is Bill Ballou, who designed Elvis's jumpsuits. A little bit out of focus, but this is the photograph with the Jordanaires. So I was really pleased. Only Ray Walker is left. George Clyde and Richard Davis. I have a few with Joe Esposito. That's probably the least best. Another one of Anita. Harold Lloyd, who I really liked a lot. Uncle Vester. There are some more, but I'm not going to bore you with it too much. I just wanted to share a couple of things. I have some nice promo discs. I was on the radio in the UK and we got a couple of promos, you know, radio station promos. This is all broken now, but this is the GXL one. This was a promo for That's Alright. It was nice also to find the original one with Ronnie Tutt. To Julian, Peace, James Burton. And this is a weird one. This is a strange one from Bart and Barbara Smart. No idea who they are, but it's from the First Tennessee Bank. Cash $11. Very strange. Cliff Cleaves. Oh, and this woman right here. Unfortunately, I can no longer read what she's written on the back. But it says Milam school, 6th grade. This woman right here. I don't know how we struck up a conversation with this woman. We met her in a car park, myself and Ian. It must have been obvious that we were Elvis fans, and she introduced herself. So that's it. Quite exciting. I tried to share it with my daughter, but she just looked at me like, huh? So I thought I would share it with you. Thanks for watching.